Well, why did you leave?
The music. I had heard me and David and Stephen sing. It was completely a unique sound to me. The Byrds and the Buffalo Springfield and the Hollies were very decent harmony bands. But this was something different. When David and Stephen and I put our voices and blended them together before they hit the microphone, we knew that it was something very, very unique and very different. So it's the power of that vocal blend that we got to within 40 seconds of singing with each other. 40 seconds.
Incredible, is that?
Yeah, yeah. Nobody sounds like us when we're on it. Nobody in the world.
When did the drug use start? Did you start with marijuana?
Yes. Yes.
And about when did that start?
For me, mid-'68, when I first came to Laurel Canyon. And we had a dear friend, Cass Elliot, who was the singer with the Mamas and Papas. And she was the woman that changed my life completely. She was the one that introduced me to Crosby, who would then, of course, introduce me to Stills, and then, of course, Neil. Cass Elliot was a very interesting person in rock and roll. She was very much like Gertrude Stein. She would gather people together from different disciplines to talk about what's going on in their lives, how can we make this better. She was a real firecracker, Cass. And had I not met her, my entire life would have been completely different.
So you think mid-'68 is
yes.
when you started smoking dope.
You're right.
And that led to harder stuff?
It led to cocaine. I've never tried heroin. I don't ever want to. It doesn't make sense to me that you would be able to take a drug that could kill you instantly. I never thought that we would die smoking dope. I never thought that we would die snorting cocaine, actually. One of the most disturbing parts of putting my life down in the book was how people would perceive Crosby. The only time I ever got a call from the legal department of the publishing was of a story I told about David, who actually sold his Mercedes for cocaine, and the dealer died, and David stole into the house while the dealer was still dead and stole his pink slip bat for the Mercedes, and then resold the car for more cocaine.
Well, I can imagine that the book publishers' lawyers would be all over that.
They were all over that. But I told Crosby, and I said, this is what I'm saying because that's what you told me happened. And he said, don't change a word. He admitted it. He was a man about, his drug use.
I'm thinking about how few people would have taken that attitude. It tells you a lot about David Crosby.
It tells you a lot about David, yeah. David Crosby is one of the most unique people I know, and I know a lot of people. He's an unbelievably unique, rare musician. He's very jazz influenced. Strange chords, strange tunings, things I personally, would, as a writer, would never think of.
Stephen Stills, who is he?
Stephen Stills is a leader. Stephen Stills is a tremendous, tremendous musician. A great arranger, stubborn, won't quit until he thinks it's right, which I love about him.
And what about Neil Young?
Neil Young is, as I said in my book, he's one of the strangest friends I have. Completely dedicated to the muse of music, completely a slave to good music. Neil Young dedicated to his family, dedicated to making the world a better place.
Who and what are you?
There's a part of me that is still waiting to get found out. I'm 71 years old now. I've been doing this successfully a long time. But there's a part of my soul that doesn't quite believe that I should be here. I'm this poor kid from the north of England who had the wisdom to follow his parents' advice about following his heart in my passion for music. Who am I? I want to get the job done. If we're going to commit to doing a tour or commit to doing an album or commit to singing a note, I want to get the job done the best way we can. I personally think that time and our family are all we have. When my father died at 46 and the clouds didn't stop scurrying across the sky and the birds didn't stop singing, and I realized, my God, you have to fill your life with the best you can for every second of your life.
You've written some very memorable songs. We won't go through the whole list, but Our House, Teach Your Children, Chicago, Wasted on the Way. What are some of the stories behind these songs?
There's a story behind every single one of them. And what I like to do is celebrate the ordinary moments in life. And I'll give you an example. I took Joni Mitchell to breakfast once in Los Angeles. We left the restaurant. We pass an antique store. She looks in the window. She sees a beautiful vase in the window that she wants to buy. Now, I mean, I know I haven't been with Joan for, over 40 years, but she probably still has her first dollar. She doesn't spend a lot of money on herself, but she did buy this vase. And so we went back to her house in Laurel Canyon where we were living, and I said, you know something? I'll light a fire. Why don't you put some flowers in that vase that you just... And all of a sudden...
I'll light the fire.